You might not recognize the name Carl Switzer, but you most likely know the name Alfalfa. So connected to the role he played on the series Our Gang, the actor will always be remembered as the little boy with the funny hair. Although his life ended tragically, his contribution to American pop culture has left a lasting impression. Carl Dean Switzer was born on August 7, 1927, in Paris, Illinois, to Gladys and George Switzer. He was the second son of the family, which also included his older brother Harold. The Switzers lived modestly on a farm. In 1935, the Switzer family took a trip to California to visit relatives. It was during this visit that Carl and Harold were discovered while singing and clowning around at the Hal Roach Studios cafeteria. The two were offered a contract with the studio, and shortly after, Carl was offered a role in the Our Gang series as Alfalfa, and his brother was given the role of Slim. After being cast in Our Gang, the family stayed in California, with Carl and Harold becoming the primary earners for the household. Carl contributed more significantly than Harold, as his portrayal of Alfalfa quickly stood out among the cast. Carl joined the Our Gang cast in 1935, becoming one of the series' most recognizable characters. Alfalfa, known for his freckled face, cowlick hairstyle, and mischievous personality. Alfalfa's romantic pursuits and rivalries with other characters like Spanky and Darla provided endless laughs for children and adults watching The Little Rascals on their black and white TVs at home. Carl appeared in 61 Our Gang shorts over 6 years. Despite his success on screen, Carl faced challenges behind the scenes. His obnoxious personality and quick temper led to clashes with his fellow cast members and the production team. He was also prone to bullying and playing jokes on other cast members and the crew, jokes that only he found funny. As he grew older, his role in the series diminished, and like many child stars, he attempted to transition from child to adult roles, leaving Our Gang in 1942. Following his departure, Carl struggled to transition into teen, then adult roles. He made occasional appearances in films such as Going My Way, and had uncredited roles in It's a Wonderful Life and The Ten Commandments. He also made appearances on television in shows such as The Roy Rogers Show and The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show, but his career never regained the momentum of his childhood fame. Carl met and quickly married Diane Collingwood in 1954, after only a few months of dating. They had one child together. However, their marriage quickly ended in divorce only a few years later in 1957. Financial struggles and the inability to find steady work took a toll on Carl. He worked as a farmer, bartender, and dog trainer to make money. On one occasion, a hunting dog that Carl borrowed from his occasional business partner, Moses Bud Stilts, ran off. Carl paid a $35 reward for the dog's return and bought a few beers to thank the person who brought it back, bringing the total to $50. Apparently, Carl felt that Bud Stilts should reimburse him. Plus, Carl was deeply in debt at the time and needed the money. After a few weeks of back and forth, Carl had a few drinks along with a friend of his and went to Stilts' house to confront him. There are multiple stories about the fight that broke out in Stilts' home, depending on the source, such as whether or not Carl had a knife with him. However, the end result was that Stilts shot Carl. Carl Switzer later died from the gunshot wound at the hospital on January 21, 1959, at the age of 31. He was buried in the Hollywood Memorial Park Cemetery. The court found that Stilts acted in self-defense, and the killing was considered justifiable homicide. Notably, his brother Harold also died tragically. After a dispute with a customer at the laundromat he ran, he committed suicide at the age of 42. Though his life was short, Carl Switzer's portrayal of Alfalfa continues to be enjoyed by generations of viewers in the Our Gang or Little Rascals shorts.